Coach Dave. I think it's time to admit it's a podcast. Welcome to the It's Not a Podcast with Coach Dave.
Well, Dave, welcome to the YouTube page and welcome to episode 5. Welcome. We're all brand new to this. Welcome in. You are the coach inside of the game, for you guys that don't know, the official coach. How are you doing?
I am doing well, Coach Dave. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Pleasure to be here. Yeah, I get to be Coach Burg. How was that? Was that weird?
No, it was the best. It'll never get tiring. You know, I would like to say, like, probably out of all the people in the world, I've listened to that voice so much, you know, when it comes to testing and putting out content and all the variations of ways that I hear it. So it is exciting. And how does that feel for you? You know, this is like Meta and Half Brick. They put a giant push into specifically your voice coming back to the game, not just with Thrill the Fight 2, a new multiplayer that's in VR boxing. They put everything into Coach. Coach is coming back. Coach is going to train you. How does that feel for you?
It feels amazing. And I had no idea until I got cast. It's amazing. I've been doing voiceover for over 25 years. I've been on over 100 video games. On each game, I usually play like maybe 4 to 6 different voices. But I've had a few hits and I've had, fans for some of those hits. But when this one came out, I mean, this is kind of like the most work I've done in recording a video game. I put in the most hours and I got to work out.
I was going to say, how was your voice?
I had no idea, because when they sent me the opportunity, the audition, it was just, there was coach, there was the ref, and then there was the ring announcer. And so I'm like, oh, okay, it's a boxing game. I'll lay my Michael Buffer on him. I'll go, from the site where legends are made, let's get ready to rumble. And I go, yeah, and I'll, spend 20 minutes on mic for it. And they go, oh, you got the coach. And I went, okay, cool. That's cool. I had no idea it was that massive of a character. And and then every time I see a clip of the game, I can always hear the coach in the background. Hey, hit him with the right, kid. Hey, kid, stay online. Get out of the pocket. Amazing. Like, wow, this is amazing. So
amazing. Can I ask you, when was that time frame? When it comes to them reaching out and you kind of getting this audition and then kind of funneling it down to coach, when was that time frame for you?
It all happened pretty quick. I think it was like early to midsummer, just a few months ago. And I got an email one day from a friend that was friends with Half Brick, and I sent it out. A few days later, I got an email from Ricardo, and and he said, yeah, are you good next week? And so within a week of reading for the part, we were recording. And I remember it was a really, really hot day. This is my little studio here. It's a real modest little studio. It's not a soundproof studio, but there's a lot of dampening going on here. There was a lot of construction going on right outside my house here. They're building a wall outside my house. So I had to set up a makeshift studio in a back bedroom here. And
of course, right?
And it was noon in California, and so it was like about 100 degrees, and we went for 3 hours. I did about 3 or 4 sessions at about 3 hours a shot, which is kind of intense. A lot. Usually when I record a video game, I'm in and out within an hour, and that's recording a couple different voices. But yeah, they're like, yeah, can you go for, we'll record for 3 hours, and I was toast. It was a lot of work.
No, it's funny because you say that, right? And we just posted something the other day to talk about like the over like 2,500 lines that you have options for all the different variations of things that could possibly happen. And, just like yesterday, just so you can appreciate the lines just for a second here. I was reading some comments yesterday, and just like their minds were like blown that the in between the rounds, it was contextual. So coach was like actually giving real advice that pertained to what was going on to them. And, and if the round one went different than round two, then they would be different things happening, and the coach would have a different vibe. Just the mind explosion of that. So
Yeah.
it is very much appreciated on even a ground level.
Thank you so much. It's so nice to hear that, because that's what I got out of it while we were recording. It's a very intelligent game, and it's very smartly written. And gosh, maybe 20 years ago or so, video games kind of went the past where there's options you can make. It's not just a pattern you play, or a static cutscenes and things like that. Just maybe about 20 years ago, there was, some options you could do where your character had to say, well, if you go this way, this, you say this. If they go that way, you go. This game, Coach had everything. He kind of, I think it was even color coded,
Yeah,
where,
yeah.
this was the positive round. So it was, it color coded in green, and then it's really, really excited. So it's like green, green. And then, yellow or regular color was just, okay, yeah, you're doing okay, kid. Just hang in
Yeah,
there. Don't get killed, And then, and then, red was like, oh yeah, yeah, that you could have done better there, kid. And then
that is
big,
hilarious.
big disappointment. So, and then there was even some splicing together of different instances, like say the coach
Hmm.
would say something, oh hey kid, come on in, sit down, or something like that. And then he would get a little more intense during the office talk or something like that, or something. So
Yeah,
the
yeah, 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 yeah.
sometimes the line is split in half, like if depending on how the fighter did in the last round or the last fight. So it
Yeah,
was
no, it's
very, very smartly written. And then it had to match, and we had to get an okay from
mhm.
Edward. And how's that? Is that on? Is that too much? Is that too little? So very well done. I was in awe myself the whole time.
No,
So
it's crazy because even with all that being said, it really is like 10% of the overall, as the kids say, aura of coach and his
yeah,
presence in the game. You know, so it's crazy to even to hear it the way you're explaining it is so unique, because you're telling me your experience, and I have my own, because when you were doing that, I was testing that. So like
yeah,
whenever you're like you're mentioning the green lines and like the red lines and the different variations of them, like I remember testing these things and like having a good round or bad round and going back and seeing the line and then seeing the color that it was, and then I would hear your voice in there, so it was, and it was funny because I hear it from your perspective and I get to see it, live it from mine, and to see those two worlds kind of mix is so cool.
it's like we got to a point where, when the rounds weren't going so well, it was like, oh, I wonder if the fighter is going to be like, oh, coach is going to yell at me after that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want to hear what coach has to say this round, or look for approval. How'd I do, coach? How'd I do?
You know,
So I don't
you
know
actually
if you're getting any of that, or if you've experienced that, but I was wondering if
100%.
that was going to happen.
100%. No, there,
That's
and
awesome.
I'm if I get to introduce you to this fandom of Coach right now, I'm going to be very excited. So if you don't know a lot of what we'll talk about today, then I'm very excited for this conversation.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
interacting with fandoms, especially big, like diehard fandoms.
Hmm.
And I'll drop the names of a couple other video games I'm on if you want. But I am on the Discord server.
Really,
And I've just
I didn't even
mentioned a
know that.
couple things. I'm laying low right now.
Okay,
I'll
okay.
just type a line in every now and then, like, "Hey, don't forget what I taught you, kid." And they'll go, "Hey, man, get out of here. We're busy."
You got to change your
But
name
that's it.
to.
I'll put like a little microphone emoji just to let just a little clue. But yeah,
I gotta give you your own role in the Discord so people know that, like, who,
I
because
love
yeah.
it. Especially like if somebody's doing a Twitch stream or something like that, and
Hmm.
if they know who I am, they're, oh, it's you.
No,
it's
yeah,
it's
no.
so fun. Yeah, it's
Whenever
so
I actually stumbled across you accidentally on Instagram, whenever, I wasn't, I run the social account, so I'm like always there and running about, right? So, but it wasn't like I like like, I guess it was like an explore page. I don't know. Maybe I was scrolling through. I don't know what happened. I just saw, and then I kind of connected the dots real quick. I'm like, wait, is this actually? So when I DM'd you and I slid into your DMs, I was like,
Yeah.
hey, we got to talk. Wait, what do
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
mean? And I'm
Yeah.
excited because I feel like when people hear, get to meet you a little bit, it's exciting for them too. And again, I would love to dive into, if you don't know, how many people were excited for this character to come back, and I know it sounds dramatic, I know it does, but like life changing character, because people are like, this isn't just a video game. People are like losing 30-40 pounds and changing their fitness style and
I know
working on their
that.
mental health and
That's
getting better
crazy.
at boxing. So it's like, oh my god, what's happening?
That's why I got to start playing. I haven't played the game. I don't have a MetaQuest or I don't have a VR or anything. So I got to get it because I'm like, I'm in. And we were talking about that too when we were recording, or I was thinking that too. I'm like, wow, this is an actual workout, and this isn't just a game. It's an actual. This is training. And again, with the smart writing, the whole time the instructions that the coach gives is like, whoever wrote this knows how to box. They know what they're talking about. And so I'd have to ask sometime, am I saying this right? Is this the way they would
Mm-hmm.
say it? And they'd check me, and yeah. So, and then I'm seeing the response, like even Edward. Well, Edward lost like 30 pounds or
But yeah,
something like that. Like, that's
in like six
amazing.
weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's
yeah.
insane. So yeah, I really, really need to play.
No, and of course I speak from experience. I have I fought professionally, so I had a professional life, and as an athlete, going through that training was rigorous. And to now, like, I don't even leave my you can't convince me to leave my house today. So the VR gym is just the best thing in the world. So the fact that I can kind of put it on and then I'm done. Like everything come like again, it sounds like something like it's in a movie. Like I can spawn a live training partner into my environment and we can fight virtually.
Yeah,
Is What are you even talking about? That
it's
doesn't make any sense.
amazing. It, it
Yeah. So
it's
yeah.
insane. And I've heard you talking about like events in the future where whole stadiums are filled with virtual fighters, watching them go at it from different parts of the country. I mean, it's going to happen.
It's
It's
already
going
in the
to happen.
works. Like we already have plans for our official esports to start by the beginning of the year, with a rough time frame, right? So things are already working. Like there's already the wheels are already turning. So we're gonna force it.
It's
we're gonna lead the
so
pack. We're gonna go. Yeah. So yeah.
it's so amazing. And yeah, that whole thing, all this stuff came up when we were recording. This wasn't just another recording. It was
Hmm.
like, wow, we're developing like a mentorship with the player, with the fighter. And we don't want coach to just be someone that's yelling at you all the time and stuff like that. You want to feel that he cares, and wants you to do well and stuff like that. So all that stuff was considered, because I didn't want people getting tired of my voice and stuff like that, which I'm sure people do. Or like I see people in the corner like, hey, shut up.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I want that. I didn't want that so much, so I wanted to give them some heart. Be kind of have the fighter under his wing, and let me tell you where I come from. It's like this, kid. So
And I never want to interrupt whenever you're saying, whenever you're you're talking as a coach. I'm like, oh, let me not
respect.
even yeah. Let me yeah. No, but it's
That's what I like about you, Coach Dave. Respect. You're gonna
you
go
know
far, kid.
it's funny because how much of that actually comes through. Like I'm a fan, right? So I've been playing Thrill the Fight 1. I got the first game. I have the second game. I was involved before. I was Coach Dave before Half Brick even reached out to me.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was in it. I wanted to make content for my own want and enjoyment about this game. And then Hatpick reached out, so then I got involved that way. But so I'm a fan of it, so I get to experience this like first as a fan. Whenever and I'm excited that you haven't played the game, because
Yeah.
I'm gonna figure out a way to get you a headset, and we're gonna get you in the game, and I want to see how you feel about it, because like even like the little things that you're saying right now, like I'm seeing it from like my player perspective. So
Yeah.
whenever little things about the game, maybe you don't know or do know, whenever you tap on career mode, the second you get into the game, it's your voice, and it's the first thing that starts the
Yeah.
entire process of your
Yeah.
entire amateur career inside the game. and it's the first thing you hear, it's the first thing you see. And then with the trailer, kind of coach mentioning that he's coming back, and we've done the work, and you're kind of connecting that emotional response from that player already. And I guess I'm kind of balling all that up to kind of ask, how do you feel like there is such an emotional response to coach, and it's a positive response, and people are getting better at their boxing because of coach's
Yeah.
advice. It's like what's happening. So how does that make you feel?
It feels amazing. It's a huge, I guess, responsibility that I felt immediately, because like I said, I had no clue coach was going to be this huge character that was going to be with you the entire time. And I had no idea until they actually sent the script, and I went, wow, this is pretty big. Oh, this is like a lot of training. And then and then what happened, we would be having such a good time during the sessions. Ricardo and Edward, like, oh, we're gonna get some more stuff for coach to do. I'm like, oh, okay. That's cool. And then I think it was the second or third session we recorded. That's when we got into, signing into your tablet and make, yeah, come on, make a choice. Hey, anytime now, kid. And
That's hilarious.
and then we started kind of getting the feel for coach, and they really allowed me to ad lib and stuff like that, which was really, really cool. And then, they wrote some stories for me, and then the trailer, and they're like, yeah, we like the way you're hitting it and stuff. So we kind of, we want the trailer to sound like this. We want, when you log into the game, we want it to feel or sound like this. And so it's pretty intense. It's like, that's a huge responsibility. So yeah, I was just trying to make sure that the coach, yeah, he's kind of tough, but you can tell he cares a little bit,
Mm-hmm. Well, just like every old school boxing coach ever, right? It's like,
Yeah, yeah,
I want to
yeah,
drill you to the ground, but if you ever
yeah,
need anything,
yeah, yeah.
please.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's tough love,
Mm-hmm.
kid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And there was a reference, when I got the original audition side, it was like, we want it to be similar to another elderly boxing coach that we all
Mm-hmm.
kind of know and love, maybe
Yeah.
from Boston or something like that.
Something like that.
So
Yeah. I heard.
yeah, so in my original, I think my original audition had a little more Boston in it every now and then. It was a little wider, uh, uh, but we just kind of found a groove. But that feeling was a huge thing to think about the entire time. Um, what it sounds like when you log in, how to make your choices in your career, and just guiding you through all the way through, like, the world champion, fight is, it's amazing. So
Yeah, if you play out through the career, you'll have something like 700 fights or something wild. So it's like, and you can retire anytime you want. You can kind of restart and kind of go through the cycle 100 times over again. And then, coach, I'm sure you remember, right? Coach has, you go through a tournament and then you win a gold medal, and you have coach's lines that kind of talk you through that. And, no, it was, some of my favorite lines are just whenever I log back in, when he kind of teases me a little bit, like, where you been, kind of thing. And, it's the best because, it really is like, I could have seen my real coach yesterday. And he's like,
yeah,
you taking time off, or just something kind of just to kind of egg
yeah,
out, kind of like, so it's just funny to go through that, and to have a little bit of banter whenever you get into the gym.
yeah, that feeling was really, really there, and they did such a good job of trying to cover all that. And I still think there might be more. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
I'm leaking anything I'm not supposed to be leaking, but I think they kept saying that, we might find a little more for coach, or maybe some
But
patches or something in the future. Who knows?
no,
But
yeah, we just updated our roadmap for the game, and it is not slowing down. So I can't see a world where the game expands and coach doesn't. So I'm excited myself to see what the future holds for coach, and for me as a player, like, not even like Coach Dave, like, just like regular David sitting at home playing a video game for fun.
Fan
Like,
Dave, yeah,
yeah, like, that guy's also excited to see what the year will bring, because I'm aware of the plan, right? So I'm excited to see what it all brings. You know, not only for you, right, for Coach, but you know, for
Yeah.
VR boxing as a whole.
Yeah, VR boxing, I've never played a VR game, period. So I think this would be a good one for me to start with.
Yeah, for sure.
And I know my first like step into the ring, oh, I'll
Man,
be out. I should
me and
listen to
you have
myself.
to meet up. Me and you have to meet. It's just fate. It's just fate. We got to meet up. You know, and we can like put ourselves on camera, and you could fight me as Coach.
Oh my
Like,
God. That
that
would
that would
be
be hilarious.
fantastic. Maybe there's a lot of stuff that I recorded. Like we they would encourage me to ad lib or do another take my way, which was just amazing. And sometimes I might have gone a little too far with the things I said, but sometimes I would do a take and they go, okay, that one's for the Christmas party reel. Okay. You
That
can
is,
play
I
that
need.
for everyone at the holiday get together.
That's
Um,
hilarious.
but who knows? Maybe we know somebody, some techie guys that can make a little coach in his boxing trunks. Let's see if they
That's so
still fit,
funny.
kid. Like
It's
a glove.
were you a fan of the first game to see coaches evolve?
I
His
I I've never seen the other game played. I've seen
Okay.
pictures of it. I've seen pictures of coach and everything looks like it got an upgrade, but I've never experienced any of that. And I was
Yeah.
wondering what it was like, what the gameplay was like.
Yeah. No, you know
If anybody
what's
talked, if you
no,
interacted
not even
with
a little bit.
it. Yeah.
You know, that's what's so wild about, you know, the character Coach is that in the first game there was no lines, there was no nothing. He kind of, I think he would go like, and like
Uh-huh.
that's about as far as the the relationship went, you know, and
Yeah.
that was it. But even with that, just being that, having Coach next to you, like on the ring side, created an emotional response
Mhm.
from the player. So then Coach got
Yeah.
some notoriety, and Coach got some cred, you know, for being Coach. And you would see even like videos like, as you know, my coach, you know, and people
Yeah.
play into the character of content, and you know they have their coach that they're talking to. And even now, you see videos last week that were being put out where hilarious videos where some guy made a video where he literally followed your direction word for word, and if you said anything in the fight, he listened to it like 100%. So
Oh,
he
wow.
so you know there's so many variations of ways that Coach is being integrated into the world. So it's hilarious because the first game is so plain and dry, and you know it's a great experience for what it is. But then you never get any lines, never dialogue. You kind of made up your dialogue with Coach, and then it was so anticipated for him to come back, and now he comes back in such a weird way where he's involved in your virtual life, you know,
Yeah.
and he's coaching you through it, and he, you know, so it's just such an upgrade, and so if you
Yeah.
haven't played the first one, it's a great game. Don't get me wrong, but Coach is so minimal compared to what he is today.
Well, that's what I thought. I wasn't sure. And so when they were saying we're recording, like as soon as you put your visor on and you hear coach saying, hey, kid, you know, or whatever he says, I don't know. But I was thinking, oh, okay, so coach has a voice now. So immediately the player's going to go, okay, here's two. You're already excited for Thrill of Fight 2. And
Mm-hmm.
so let's see what this is like. Let's see what's changed. And then, oh, wait, who's that? Oh, oh, the coach talks now. So I'm like, oh man, I hope, you know, people like this. I hope people accept him. Um, and so that was like a big responsibility, you know, people that are in love with the first game. Maybe some people, you know, sometimes you like the original better than a sequel. And so there was a little pressure there. I'm like, well, I'm going to create this guy that's going to be there the whole time. And I hope everybody likes that upgrade. And he's with you the entire time. I'm like, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. I hope this doesn't go bad.
No, and that's the beauty of the way we wired it with the game is that, you know, if I fight today, it's going to be a different fight than yesterday. And then if I fight tomorrow, it's going to be a different fight than today too. So with those different fights come different dialogue, you know, so I'm never really rinse and repeating. And then there's a process. So you'll fight and then you'll train. You'll have training sessions with coach
Yeah.
and different variations of training sessions. So you kind of mix that up. Then you go
You
back
got
to
to
the
talk
office and
about what went down first before you get back into the training, right?
It'll never get old for
Hey,
me. I
where
hope you
you
know
going?
that.
Hey, sit down, kid. I want to talk to you first before we get back in the ring.
Exactly. No, exactly right. So there's so much. You fight, you train, you go back to the office, and you have that banter. And even if you sit with your tablet open and you don't do anything too long in the office, he'll like poke at you, like hey,
Yeah.
press a
Hey,
button.
today.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. So it's just there's so much that goes into it, and with all that, and people like our fan base appreciates the context of how complicated that is. Like it's not
Yeah.
just a guy that just good job guy or just whatever it is. It's like
Right.
it's so based on your performance, and it'll change as the fight goes on. And so people really do appreciate Coach being there. They appreciate his words, and again, I think it's the wildest thing in the world that these voice lines that were recorded and now put into the game with Coach that was from the first game, and all these things intertwined are now equaling out to someone having better boxing inside of our story
Oh my
mode.
gosh. Yeah.
You're a
And
boxing
like I
coach.
say, the writing, and this is something that always blows my mind when I record voices for video games. There's like a sound engineer in the studio. There's a director, and who's usually like director producer. Sometimes there's writers in the session, but nobody else. Even if it's a cut scene, usually. And their characters are talking to each other, it's usually recorded just one character at a time, even in a conversation. So the producer or the writer is there to let you know what's happening at that moment in the game or the cutscene. Like you're standing on a cliff, you're talking to the people down there. But in this, again, they're like, okay, we're like in the third round, and he took a couple jabs, but he won the round. So there was like all these different combinations of things that could have happened. It's like, okay, so you're a little upset. It's a little intense, but he's getting better. So encourage him a
Yeah.
little more, a little excitement. It was so well done. It was so well done. And like I say, sometimes there was like a basic beginning of a sentence, and then the second half would be like, but then coach got to lean on him a little bit, like you don't do that again, Um, it was just so well done. And while I'm reading these lines, I'm like, these aren't just like, jab, jab the body. They're very specific, come in, tap, stay on your center line and then back out, go exit this way on an angle, and I was like, these people know what they're talking about. And just so well done. They really really worked hard. That blows my mind. That's the true artistry of this game. The construction, the artistry of all those little possibilities that can happen, because they have that all figured out. When I come along, I'm just kind of, they're kind of steering me. They're coaching me
That's
through the
hilarious.
voice
Yep.
of coach. And that's the amazing part. The people that put this together just did an amazing job. Amazing
And
blueprint.
that's about the time that I jumped on board for full. I remember even being like on my first couple of meetings on the team and hearing like they're meeting with you, and that's all I knew at the time. I didn't know what even that meant, at the time frame of it. So it's crazy to see what the progress and what we're able to create, edit, put in, implement, and then all the context that has to do with that implementing all the different variations of it. And then now we get to talk today about all that progress. And it's been what, 5 months? What
Yeah.
what
So
a
you
time
and I
machine.
kind of came in right around the same time then.
Yeah, that's
When
what I'm
you came
saying,
in,
right?
I was just I was sweating in my back bedroom over there, and
Yeah.
but it was a workout too. I was dripping sweat. I went through a pair of headphones. I have a pair of headphones that I've been wearing for years, and I was sweating so much. I was wiping my face off in between each line, and then when I would be done with that, the leather on the inside of the headphones was just falling off and stuff. So I
I
got a
think
new
that
pair.
I think there's a part of that struggle recording coaches' lines that makes it 10 times better for me. Like there's in my head now when I play the game and I hear that, I'm gonna imagine you just drenched,
Oh,
trying to record this line, batting off in between. It kind of creates a little bit of lore to the story of Coach, in my head
Oh my
at least.
gosh. Yeah. Okay, well, picture this is my background right now. This was where I was for the second or third, fourth sessions that we recorded. And it was a couple months ago, so it was midsummer here in San Diego, California. So it was about
That'll do it.
100 degrees in this
Yep.
room. And yeah, I have a towel here and a jug of water here. And I'd be saying like, uh, they like straight lines. Answer with the turns. The turns. Don't hurry. Change directions. Change minds. It's not. And then I'm like, okay, hold on.
That is amazing.
Okay. And then my microphone here is just drenched.
Mm-hmm. That is
Yeah, it was a
amazing.
workout. It was a workout for me, but unfortunately, I didn't drop 30 pounds yet.
That's hilarious. We got to get you inside of the game so you can experience it. And let me ask you that: how is that? How is that? Maybe you haven't heard Coach in this particular game, but I'm going to assume you've heard your voice and seen characters in other games that you've been a part of. How is that? That's kind of mind blowing, right? It's, at least for me,
It
it would be.
is. It really is because, like I say, we know what it looks like now. We know what the experience is now. But those producers and the writers in the session, they're just explaining it to you. Rarely are there pictures of what the scene looks like. Usually, before you record, you'll have like a schematic of like what the characters look like, but it's a static anatomical version of the character, maybe a couple poses, but that's what the producers are there for, or the writers. They're going to tell you you're in this arena, it's in a hotel room or something like that, and so you always picture it a certain way, and that's what comes out from your acting. And then you're kind of wondering how it's going to come out, and then when it finally does, you're like, oh, that's what it looks. Okay, that's cool. Okay, that's a little different, but yeah, that's cool. With Coach, I even the trailer, they explained to me what the trailer was going to be, and I was very, very happy with it. um uh, uh i've I've seen gameplay, and you can always hear Coach somewhere in the background. Hey, hey, wow. During the fight, you got to say, oh,
We
come
need
on,
a
come on, come
Coach
on.
YouTube series after hearing the way this is going right now. We need a 30-second TikToks of him or something. We need to bring him to life.
Gifts, yeah. Memes, Coach
Yeah,
memes.
yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. It's really cool. It's always kind of like, oh, okay, I
Mhm.
see, I see. I am a gamer a little bit. I have certain games that I play, usually stuff like on my tablet. Um, Console game a little bit. Um, but I'm not that great of a gamer to always be able to get to my characters in my video games. So for years,
Yeah, that
I
makes
watch
sense.
YouTube videos. Ever since Twitch came out, I like to watch people stream, their gameplay. That's awesome. And then if sometimes fans will, send me clips and stuff like that. So I love
Wh-
that. But
When was the first time you heard Coach? By the way, like I guess I don't know that. When was the first time you? Was it the trailer officially?
I think it was the trailer because I was actually surprised too. The last time I recorded, they said, yeah, it was going to drop like mid-November. And I was like, oh, really? Wow, that's next month. And so I kept looking online. I didn't get it was on the 19th. So I kept looking, to see when it was going to drop. And then it was just a couple weeks ago, I saw, I think it was the day before it came out or something, and the trailer had finally dropped. And I saw that, oh, okay, yeah, it's really, really cool. And then I started seeing clips of, it was like the early release or something like that. And was it like preview or something like that? Some people got to play it early.
Yeah, yeah. A bunch of
And
people got it early, so like on the hour it released, there was a ton of content out there, and people were just. I'm sure you saw coaches back, coaches back, coaches back, coaches back everywhere, or
yeah,
maybe you didn't. Maybe I need to send you all this.
I didn't. I was always looking for Coach, but it was the trailer when I first heard him, and I was trying to find other clips if I could find, being in the office and things like that. But finally, I now any clip I see, you can always hear like the body, hey, get over here, kid.
That's
He's always talking, always talking. And then my other two friends are in the game. Sean Crisden is the voice of the ring announcer, so I always hear him going, fight.
that's so
3,
funny. I didn't know that.
4, 5. And then Eric Bra is the voice of the ring announcer. Sean Crisden is the voice of the ref.
That's hilarious. I didn't even know that. So you're teaching
Yeah,
me
we're all
something.
friends. We're all on other video games together. And actually, the three of us are going to be in Sacramento, California, in like 2 weeks, December 20th and 21st at the Sacramento Sac Gamers Convention at the Scottish Rite Center. So if there's any Thrill of the Fight 2 fans in Sacramento in 2 weeks, the three of us are going to be there.
I'll
And
make sure
it's
to
going to be
add a link
interesting
in the
because we're
description just so
mostly
people
known
can.
for another video game. We're all on Bendy and the Dark Revival.
Yep.
And so that's we have people that follow us around at the fan cons and stuff like for that. So it's going to be interesting to see when if I start to get Coach Burg fans coming up to the table and stuff. I don't have any prints yet to sign, but I'm working on it.
I need to send you one. I have some photos back here. I need to put something on. Like, can you imagine it's like a giant coach with a signature? That'd be the best. And again, that's me speaking from just, again, that fan of the game, the fan of it all, and it's fun that, again, I'm so excited that you haven't experienced it yet, because even if you just go through a fight or two, you're like, oh, there's so much going on in that first initial setup of the second you touch career. It's all Coach, so it's funny because and I don't know if you know this or not, but Coach there's a little Easter egg. Coach has a photo on his desk in the office, and there's a special woman in Coach's life that so there's a whole lore behind Coach. Coach has some history.
Yeah,
so
there's a couple stories that Coach tells, and like, yeah, Coach has been through a few things,
a little bit, yeah. It's going to be exciting to expand on that, not only vocally with Coach, but as for the artist, the playing little games and planting little seeds and kind of creating this backstory of them. What is? I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go right ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say one of the most hilarious things I've heard that connects me and you even further. There was a bunch of comments that were saying that Coach is just a older version of Coach David.
Yeah.
Because in the office, in Coach's office, I was obviously a tester for a lot of this stuff. So I just happened to be around, and people know my avatar inside of the game. So then my avatar just happened to be around. So Coach has a bunch of photos everywhere. And like there's probably 10 photos of Coach Dave, and there's an actual poster because I'm a developer inside of the game too. So there's a Coach Dave poster inside of the game. So Coach's office, and to the side of the desk is like a poster that he hasn't hung yet, and it's El Coach Dave, Dave Acosta, my name. So like there's all it's hilarious because that's probably the funniest thing I've seen is that I'm just a younger version of you inside of the game.
You're in much better shape than I was at your age.
I'm probably 40 years earlier, so it makes sense.
I've seen a clip of you going around the office like that, and it was one of the first clips I saw where I was looking for gameplay, and who's the Olympic fighter? Is it Terry?
Tony Jeffries.
Tony. I'm sorry, Tony. Yeah.
No worries.
First time I was looking up the game, I saw him fighting on his like rooftop or something like that, setting the boundary. Like, I hope you don't fall off the roof, man.
People play by pools, and people are wild.
And then the next time I saw a clip was you, and you're wearing your visor, and you're going like, "Yeah, there's Coach Dave. There's Coach Dave." And I'm like, "Hey, I'm Coach Dave. I'm Coach Dave." He's like, "Yeah, see, Coach, I'm all over this office." I'm like, "Hey, no, you're in my office, kid."
That's hilarious. I now know my place. I apologize.
Well, I didn't know who I was watching at the time. It was the first time I saw you on video. And like, yeah, this guy's pretty comfortable in my office.
That's hilarious. No, I am a guest in that office. I'm happy that there's a poster up there with L Coach Dave. Apparently, I fought in 1980 something.
I even I saw another clip of a player. He's standing across the desk from the coach, and he's just kind of looking around. Then he sees the couch, and he goes, he asked the coach. The player said, "Oh, can I sit here, coach?" And I heard, like, almost instinctively said, "Yeah, sure, kid, take a seat, take a load
That's
off."
that's so funny. I'm pretty certain that if you started doing like Q&As as a coach, and not even as coach, but just like as yourself, right? But you're a coach. There would be an audience for it, just to kind of to you know to get engaged and kind of have this conversation, because there is kind of I get to meet my coach kind of vibe, which is hilarious because um, maybe you're used to it, but like that separation isn't there. It's all one.
Yeah, it's just fun, and it
Hmm.
means something different. Uh, I mean, I'm an actor, and this is one of the things that I do. And when I go to fan cons, it sounds really weird that
Hmm.
I roll into town and I set up, prints and merchandise on a table, and people stand in line to say hi and get a signature or take pictures. That sounds really weird. But what makes the whole thing worthwhile is when people tell you their stories of their experience playing. That is always humbling and mind blowing. You get personal stories. People cry. People say, we didn't have anything else that summer, but we had that game that you were on, and we played it every day, me and my brother. Or there's another game that I'm the voice of Joey Drew in Bendy and the Dark Revival. And for the first game, there was a fan that said he used to play that game with his dad, and that was his father son time. And when the second game came out, well, dad, unfortunately, is no longer with us. And my character in that game is like the father figure in the game. So I have a fan telling me, so yeah, when I play the game and I hear your voice, I see your character, it makes me think of my dad and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
so with a game like this, I'm sure there's going to be people who are going to have a physical, mental, emotional change in their life from getting in better shape, and having this voice in their head the entire, that's doing good, kid. I'm proud of you. That type
You
of
know,
thing. So
and I know it sounds so silly again. I know it sounds silly because I fought I don't know how much you know about me and my past. Like I fought professionally. I coached in big gyms in the U.S. I competed all around the U.S. Like I had a whole life that was encompassed around fighting. So I've been there and I've done that. So I know the effect of a good coach, and I know the effect of a bad coach, but I know the effect of a consistent coach. So I think that's where people are feeding off of it. Not a lot of people, and I know it sounds, it's just the way most life is now. Maybe I'm being a Debbie Downey here, but not a lot of people get encouraged very often. Not a lot of people get told good job or you're doing great or keep that up or whatever it is. And I know, again, I premised this at the beginning. I know it sounds silly because this is a virtual reality game that I'm speaking about, and this is a coach that's animated. But again, if I have a consistent person in my life that's consistently positive, that's consistently there, sometimes I mean, that's I got a good coach. Well, I got a good coach, and I'm getting in shape, and we're doing something, and that's amazing.
yeah. Yeah, I've never boxed. I've never been in the ring. I've never been a fighter in any way. When I was younger, I'm not very tall either. But when I was younger, I used to play here in California. It's called Pop Warner, or was called Pop Warner football. And even by the time I got to high school, I was still kind of on the shorter end, and wasn't the size of a lineman anymore. But it's like playing little league or Pop Warner football. uh, I learned things in those years from my coaches and camaraderie with my teammates, and how to play a sport and the rules of engagement and all that stuff. Those are life lessons that you carry with you for your whole life. You learn things that that stick with you. And sometimes, yeah, in those formative years, you're going through some stuff, you're going through some changes, maybe stuff at home, and there's a coach, there's someone that you can look up to, and that's teaching you stuff, how to be strong, or how to fight, and just a lot of care, a lot of heart. And when I was given this opportunity, and yeah, I did base them a little bit on Mickey. That's what they asked for, loosely based on that, or maybe a little bit more than loose, but heart. Let's get through this, kid. You got this. I'm here to encourage you. Yeah, I know it's tough, but we're gonna get there together. That type of thing. That, just those words and the way those words come out, that can make a difference if someone decides to give up, or move on and get it on.
It's funny
I
that
really wanted to try and make sure to get that in there.
Yeah, it's funny that you even say that at the end, because I would say that's probably the most. I mean, for someone like me, even. I mean, like if I'm like exhausted, and I'm like fighting an AI bot or whatever it is in my garage by myself, fighting an invisible person, even then, like my cardio goes to the roof. So it's like, for round one, I'm gasping. Round two, and so whenever you do have that person there, that is kind of, even if it is just like you said, you got this, keep on going. And I know that sounds, again, I'm going to keep on premising it by saying, I know it sounds silly, but if I say it enough times, I think it's just not going to be silly. But, like maybe I wouldn't have pushed as hard if I didn't have that virtual person there that was coaching me through it, or sending that positive message. So then I get the push past a certain physical part, the mental part, where I'm like, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I'm broken down physically, my cardio's, I'm gasping, I'm sweating, what is happening? And then I get this little motivational push, and I get to push past that point. It's more than that. Now we're it's just so much more than that, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. That's great, and that's the intent. When you're working out. A lot of people don't like to work out. I mean, it's hard, especially when you are in the gym, or you're playing golf, or something that's just you against yourself. That inner struggle, and you're thinking all this. There's a lot of mental combat going on as well. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to try it a certain way, or I feel this way. I don't want to go on, but I'm going to just try this. And then at the end, when you hear like, hey, now that's what I'm talking about, kid. You're like, oh my gosh. Yeah. That surge of dopamine and adrenaline kicks in. Yeah, let's go. Let's do some more. So yeah, that was the intent, and it's so nice to hear that it seems to be working.
No, for sure. And
So
just so you
cool.
know, of that cycle too, like whenever you're done with a fight and you do well, or however it goes, even when you get back to the office, coach will have a line that has something that's encouraging. If you lost, oh, we didn't get that one, we'll get the next one. Or if you did great, he'll compliment the work that you did. So, it does flow right into it. Like, you get the in between coaching, after the fight coaching, you get back to the office and you get the coaching, and you're like, man, this guy's in my life pretty heavily.
Yeah. I don't remember ever recording any lines where coach said, all right, get out of here and don't come back.
That should be added to whenever you're able to retire, because whenever you retire, you start over, right? But that would be hilarious. He just, what? But if there is a line where what does he say? He's like,
time to hang up the gloves, kid.
Yeah, and he says if you see any like young and up and comers,
oh yeah, that's right,
or something. Yeah.
Send them my way. Tell them to look for coach.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, there's a few versions of that. They're all kind of tied into a story. It's like, yeah, you did it. We went a long ways, and yeah, let's do this again sometime. Maybe not you, but somebody like you.
Coach is going to be one of those characters that what is that show called? Breaking Bad. Then you have Better Call Saul.
Yeah. Oh, hey, trust me. I was doing my legwork during all the sessions. It's like, so yeah, you guys really like coach, huh? Yeah, well, I think there should be like maybe a spin-off game or something like that. Maybe when a prequel, like when coach was first stepping into the ring. That kind of sounded like coach, but a little higher register.
You got me.
Back when he was a longshoreman down at the dock.
See, imagine. Dude, that'd be so cool. Like, oh my God, I just broke my mic. Andy, I'll hold this now.
Hey, it's all
Anyway,
right, kid.
no,
Didn't
but
know your own strength.
no big deal. No, I haven't messed with that too much. It's all good. No, man, it's just it's insane because the coach has so much range and there's so much range inside of the game, and we get to see it. We get to see it, we get to feel it, and again, I'm so excited that you haven't played it because I will mess with the right people to get you a headset and get you the game to make sure we can at least. Because again, you press the button. The second you start the game, it's you and it's your voice, and you get to
Hey,
experience it right away.
rise and shine, cupcake.
Man,
Did they keep that line in?
there's so many of them. There's so many of them. I really don't think even for me, I've heard all of them because there's just so many of them.
Yeah, no, let's see. I just for today, I pulled up the script and it's just going.
And then
Yeah,
I
there's
can just imagine it, what the future holds for Coach.
like
Because I know what.
about 1,200 lines that I see here. There may be, oh wait, no, there's other sessions too. Yeah, there was a lot. And like I said, when we would record, they would say, we're going to come up with some more. And so I'm looking forward to that. You go ahead and say what you're going to say, because I have an idea for us.
No, it's funny because I was going to mention because I know what's in store for the future for the player, and for that player to have a more expanded experience, you bring your coach with you. So that means more things in the future. So with me knowing what's in store for the player, it just makes me excited to see what in connection comes with Coach.
Yeah, I am so excited. Again, I had no idea the coach was going to be this massive of a character, and I almost I almost felt kind of bad for my other buddies in the game. Sean Crisden, who's my buddy Sean Crisden, who's the ref. I was just with him at a fan con a few weeks ago, and we were talking about it, and I didn't know how big the other characters were because the game hadn't dropped yet. I'm like, wow, does the ref always talk? Does he count to like a million or something? So I was like, how long did you record for your character? He's like, we knocked it out in an hour or so. I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, how about you? I'm like, I'm going like
Hour
on 12
15.
hours of recording. Yeah. 3 different session. I have never recorded that long so many times for one character in one project. Yeah, I was just blown away, and I wanted to be the ring announcer,
which is probably 30 minutes in and out.
Yeah, there was one clip I saw on TikTok last week, and for just a couple words, I heard my other friend Eric Bra say a ring announcer, like winner, red trunks or something, like whatever he says. And then I sent it to him and he says, oh, finally heard me.
That's hilarious.
But like Coach, I was like, wow, like he never shuts up. So I'm grateful for all that.
And so are all the players, just so you know, and you mentioned it earlier on that your concern would be like, man, people are just like, Coach, enough. But it really is the opposite. It really is the opposite. And people love the advice. It's not just like cool, it's useful.
Yeah, that's the difference.
Yeah.
It's not just a static response, like a good job, do that again. I mean, it's all very, you got to listen. If you want to get better, you got to pay attention to your coach. Yeah, I'm looking at the script here and it is color coded. There's red, green, yellow.
See,
and that's the levels of intensity and all that.
Yeah, you saw it that way. I just saw it digitally in my headset. In between, I saw it after all this stuff. So it's cool to the different perspectives that we have from it.
Wow. I was going to mention, I did mention that I'm in the Discord. So if you ever do like any playthroughs on Discord, or if you want to do like a Q&A on Discord, I'd be up for that if you like.
People would love that.
Yeah, anytime. Let me know. This is good. It's a fun conversation. It's always interesting. I'm always kind of like a behind the scenes kind of guy. I want to know how it was made, or what the story was about. How that went down. For Coach, it was me in this room the whole time. Like, okay, wait. Okay, what line is it? Okay.
I'm telling you, I'm never going to forget that. I'm going to
Oh,
always imagine you personally going through this in a hot California sun.
well, and here's both sides of the microphone. You as the fighter, as the gamer, you have your experience. I have my
Hmm.
sweaty try to keep up experience from this side of the microphone. Cause when we would log into our sessions, we record here, and the producers, Edward and Ricardo, are in different parts of the country, and we're like us, we're online, and we'd be on our cameras when we got in, and we'd say, "Hey, how's it going? Hey, good to see you. Okay, going to work, turning the cameras off."
Hmm.
And then I'd turn the camera off, my shirt would come off. There's another visual for you. Take my shirt off, and I'd be in here like, "All right, kid, come on. What's the go? What's happening with you out there?" And then I'd be like, "Okay, okay, okay. Okay. Give me a second." And we would take breaks.
What are the
Because
odds?
I
I'm
would
sorry. What?
literally be like worked up from
Yep.
all the
Yeah.
screaming and yelling and stuff like that. And we'd get little breaks, which the guys were just fantastic. And I let them know too. I mean, I've worked with a lot of video game producers and directors and sound people over the years. But these guys were fantastic, and I can't wait to work with them ever again for anything, coach or any other project, because they were that great.
Yeah.
And
And
I've heard you say that about your team and the people at Half Brick and everything. It's just such a positive, energetic group, yourself included. I've noticed
no,
that
yeah.
just from
I,
observation.
I've I wouldn't I wouldn't be hanging around if it wasn't like that. I'm a very a transparent person, and of with that team, it's nothing but transparency and trust. And with that, you can just like sprint as fast as you can, and knowing the guy
Yeah.
next to you is sprinting too. So it makes for a good team. We're all doing our parts, and we trust that we're doing our parts, and it runs smoothly, which is exciting because I love this game. I love in my perfect world, like VR boxing blows up. Not only like thrill of the fight too, right? Obviously, right? But VR boxing as a whole, it takes over in this virtual reality space, which it just sounds intense. But again, maybe you've heard some of the other podcasts that we talk where 6 months ago, having an event with virtual reality boxers and an entire card and people showing up and doing all this and having spectators and running shows sounded silly 6 months ago. Now there's organizations and people running it, and now there's the official esports starting, and like what is even whoa
That's
whoa whoa
so
whoa
awesome.
whoa. Yeah, so it's exciting to be a part of it, and yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on and speaking with me and letting the fans get to know Coach a little bit behind the scenes, and I appreciate
So
it, so I'm sure they will too.
I totally appreciate it. And like I've also heard you say in other videos and stuff, when you have your meetings and get together and stuff, everybody's all excited and about this project, and everybody's encouraging each other, and just the energy is really high, and that's the way I felt too, as coming in for these sessions as the voice of Coach. And the guys that I worked with were amazing to work with, an amazing script. They had it all figured out before I even got there. I felt lucky to be a part of it, and each time we got together, it's like they had these extra gifts and bonuses. Like, oh yeah, we wrote more for you. We're gonna do this. We want this, and so I was excited every time I came to the microphone, and I'd be exhausted afterward. Coach, he kind of pinches off his throat when he talks sometimes. So for a day after or so, I'd be kind of like, yeah, I recorded Thrill of the Fight 2 yesterday. But it was so worth it. And I look forward to anything else that Half Brick, Thrill of the Fight 3, or, Coach, the younger years. If that comes along, I'm
That
here
sounds
for
so intense.
it.
I can't even imagine it. I don't even want to at this point. No, it's insane. I'm excited that you got to be a part of it. I'm excited that we got to meet. I'm excited that I happened to come across you and we just happened to stumble. And it was such a quick turnaround. Like last week, I was like, "Hey, is this Coach?" And I like looked through
Coach,
your
coach,
profile. I'm like, "This is Coach." And then I sent
coach.
you a DM. So I'm happy you were open to talking with me. And yeah, we got to keep updated and keep the people knowing what Coach has going on in his life behind the scenes.
Coach Dave and Coach Dave.
What are the odds?
What's
All right,
great? It's meant to be.
It's insane.
It's like the Matrix. You're the coach in the real world, and I'm the virtual coach.
Yeah, but even then, like we spoke a little before that we started recording, and we're like in the same line of work in a sense of like the production side, and we have a little bit. So it's just a small world, and you're coach inside of the game, I'm coach inside of the game, So it's just what a small, funny world that I'm happy we got time together today.
I am so happy, Dave. Pleasure to meet you. Great spending time with you and your audience. And anytime, anything you need in the future, let me know. If you want to strap a headset on me, I'll do that. You'll see that Coach pass out.
It's all good.
We can do before he gets knocked out.
You can on the floor. You can be coaching yourself. Just, small pointers.
I thought the microphone was tough.
No, man, it really is just like the most hidden best workout, because that fight or flight kind of comes out and your brain kind of switches to, oh, this guy isn't virtual, I gotta fight. You're not fighting the bot. So it is really just an intense workout that you kind of accidentally stumble across because
you don't intentionally you're lost in that world. You're not thinking about, okay, I got 5 more minutes of my workout, I got this hill to climb, and then that I have so many more reps. You're not thinking of it that way. You're in the moment, like, I got to do this. Let's go. Let's keep going. So that's just what an amazing ride. I can't wait to experience it.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on the YouTube channel for the, I'm going to call it a podcast. I've been fighting the urge of calling this a podcast. It's a podcast. Hey,
Coach Dave, I think it's time to admit it's a podcast.
I gotta get Coach to do a Thrill of the Fight 2 podcast intro for me.
Do it. We'll do it. I'll do it right now. Or if you want to write something, let me know. Welcome to the It's Not a Podcast with Coach Dave.
That's perfect. I'm going to use that forever. I'll just pull that audio. That's the best. There's no
Thrill
way
of the Fight 2. It's a game. It's not a podcast.
Man, I swear the CEO of Half Break, I don't know if you have interacted with him at all, but he is hilarious. So he's gonna love those little bits that I'm genuinely gonna use them.
I got a whole bunch more. You can send me a list of things, and you can, for your answering machine.
That's hilarious. You should be doing Coach cameos. Come on, you should.
I do have a cameo. Dave Rivas, or you can find me on my socials at Davey Boy Productions or daveyboyproductions.com. And I do have a cameo. So if you would like a holiday or New Year's greeting from the coach,
there's no
way give me a call. Sit down in the office and I'll talk to you for a little bit.
That's amazing. I will make sure to have all those links in the description. But again, thank you so much for coming on. And we got to keep in touch as the game evolves and as Coach's life evolves inside of the game.
Great work, Coach Dave. Thank you so much. Thrill of the Fight 2. It's a game. It's not a podcast.